Welcome boys. Okay, in this video we're going to address a water intrusion issue. The other day me and the wife were on our way to the chiropractor and we took this car. It had been raining earlier in the day, and I believe a day or so prior to that, and it rained rather hard, and the car's interior appeared to be dry at first, but as I took off and gave it some gas and or took a turn, we heard and saw this water spit out from behind the glove box and land on the mat on the passenger side. And so what I think is happening is, when it's raining really hard, water is coming in, it's running down the windshield, and it's coming in here, and I believe it's going right down into the screen instead of going around and down this little hole. That hole. So what we're going to do is pull this piece of cowling out, and we're going to attempt a repair to make sure the water flows around instead of down, and then goes through the proper hole there so it can run out of the car. So let's see if we can see what's happening here. I'll move the wiper blade if I can, and then pour a cup of water down the windshield, and we'll see if I can see where it's going. Okay. Okay. I can hear it flowing, and I can see some water dripping out there. I can also see the top of that screen does look wet. So it looks like it does come in here, goes in that screen. Without being able to see exactly no water here yet. But I think that's where we got it coming in from. So let's go ahead and take this apart and maybe get a better look. We can maybe duplicate that again without the cowl in the way and get a better look at what's happening. Alright, hopefully I'm zoomed in on the right spot, but we got a few Phillips screws we need to take out. One here, one here. Can't fit that thing in there. There's a little push pin here on the far left, a little compression pin. So I'll get that out too. Another concealed under debris screw right there. Let's get him out right quick. There's a hose running to this wiper nozzle here, so we'll just tilt this out of the way. I don't have too many problems with that. Okay. So now we have this thing This looks like it's held on by some 10 mils, I think. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now lie, these are 11 millimeters. And to spare you from the loud compressor noise, I went ahead and blew all this debris out with the air compressor. So nothing falls down in here. And then went ahead and took them out. But we got a long, sharp, pokey one, which goes here, on the far left. The shorter bolt goes there, and then the 11 millimeter nut goes here. So, alright. That comes off, like so. So there's a gasket on the underneath of this. Ugh, looks like it comes right off, too. Alright, let's take this apart and clean it. And this is what we're going to be using to make the new gasket to fit around this. An EDPM rubber weather seal, self-sieve take, 9/16 inch wide, 5/16 inch thick, 10 feet long, which is going to be more than enough. And we are just going to go around the perimeter here. And now there's going to be a break in this, obviously, because it's one continuous plate. I'm going to have to cut it and put it on. So once we slap it in the car, what we want to do is make sure that the spot on the front towards the headlights, closest to the headlights, is where they meet. That way there's no likely or less likely water intrusion. So we'll go like this. Alright, bam. And then somewhere up in this spot where that stamping is where we'll meet them. And I've already cleaned this out. So, clean both the mating surfaces. Let's put a new weather stripping in. Okay, now I did the one continuous bead, if you will, all the way around, with the split being towards the front of the car, closest to headlights, and then we did a little around those bolt holes for good measure. But we'll put it back in, torque her down, and then we shouldn't have any more water intrusion. Alrighty, and we're back in place here. Let's see. So that should be sufficient enough. We'll know, because if it starts raining, we have water intrusion. And the good news about the P71 is because it has that vinyl interior, any water intrusion is not that big of a deal, because it's not going to soak up the carpet and absorb and hold and retain moisture. This can just be sopped up, but still, I don't want it leaking at all if I can help it. I don't want my car smelling bad or my windows fogging on the inside if I can help it. So there we go. We got her all torqued down, and we'll see how that works. So let's just go ahead and button it up and put it all back together. And then I guess we'll give her a test. We'll dump some water on the windshield and see if it intrudes into the interior or not. And then we'll call that a wrap. Alright, so we're back on. Everything's put back in place. And let's see what we can see. Alright, I guess I'm going to do the same thing on the town car. Alright, boys, so a couple of differences right off the get-go here. The tray, which I've removed and set down there, has two ridiculously long screws that actually hold it in place. And after that, there's two 12mm nuts, those guys. And then we have what appears to be 3 8mm that'll hold this tray in. And then I'm thinking it should slide right out of here after I pull the weather stripping off. I'll let you know. And then I think the gasket on this is actually, well, we'll see, because there's two more. Actually, you know what? I guess I thought these were two different things, but they're also 8s. I thought they attached to a different piece, but I think it's all one piece now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8mm. And then we'll see where the gasket is. I think it's right here. So I think it's actually attaching this thing to that plastical thing with the screen on it. We'll see. Okay, so I pulled the plastic piece out, and that piece does have a seal on the underside of it that kind of goes onto this, and I'll show you that here in a sec. But we will go ahead and scrape all this crap out of this tray here. blow the rest out with our compressed air. Alright, let's get her done. Okay, and here's what the underside of the plastical deal is. You guys can even see it's half in the light and half not. Let's move it all into the light, I guess. So this will be actually easier to seal since I don't have to go around a bunch of bolt holes like I did in the Crown Vic. So I can actually do one piece that's completely flush, and then again we'll leave the split in the front since I suspect it's leaking in through the back, not the front. So, alright, let's pry this ugly thing off, clean it, and put the new one on. Alright boys, so now we got our one continuous bead, as it were, our weather stripping here. This is the back side, so that's solid, and then the connection parts towards the front, since I do suspect that's where it's least likely to leak in from. And we do have a bit of an angle here. It's not quite 45, but it's enough, I think, that water shouldn't be able to push its way through all that. So we'll go ahead and take it back over to the car, show you I've got the other mating surface all cleaned down, and then we will go in. Alright, and here's our nice shiny surface here. Sorry about this sun angle, but you know, freaking middle of the day problems. But it is clean, so I'll go ahead and slap that on, and then we'll see where we're at with it. Okay, we're mostly tightened in. I just got to go that last one right there. And these two nuts, they did come with like a gasket slash O-ring on them, on the washer side. So what I did was I just got rid of it because it was completely deteriorated. I'm just going to double this over with a hole in it, push them through that stud, and then secure it. Okay, all these bolts are secured, bolt slash nuts, and that's what I meant by doubling them over and squishing them down. If I was a little more ambitious, I'd cut around them with a razor. But no one sees under here anyway, so I'm not that worried about it. Alright, put the cowl back on. The only thing that holds in place those two cartoonishly long plastic Phillips screws. So we'll put that back in, and then we should be golden, I think. And that's it, boys. She's back together. Now I think about it, you can see those white things in there, but oh well. I'll be the only one that ever looks under this hood. And I can't do the cup test on this like I did the Crown Vic, mostly because there is water already in here. This floorboard is wet. So what we'll do here is we'll just wait until this dries. Once everything's dry, we'll report back once we go through some storms. So we'll just do like an update video on that. We'll make this its own video, and then if I have anything else to report in the future, I'll let you know either way if it works or doesn't. So that'll do it for now, boys. Thanks for watching. Peace.